Well, welcome everyone to another of our Mailbox Power Success Spotlight series. My name is Wendy McGee, and I am the Director of Client Relations at Mailbox Power. And if you don't know what Mailbox Power is, we are a direct mail platform that specializes in business-to-business sending, personalized gifting, free postcards, greeting cards, and so much more. And I am so excited this morning to be joined by my guest, Tim Szeleky. And Tim, welcome. I'm so excited that you're going to let me interview you today.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor.
Oh, I appreciate your time. There's so many busy business owners that are using Mailbox Power, and it's so awesome for our audience to hear your story, to learn a little bit more about you, and it helps them in using Mailbox Power to have success too. So Tim, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about you. Let our little audience here get to know you.
Sure. My name is Tim Szeleky. I live in Bay City, Michigan. I have a farming background, and after a few years of farming, I got into insurance, and then that was my early 20s. Not everybody knows what they want to do at that point in their life.
That's for
So
sure.
I got out of insurance after a few years, went back to farming. And then I got back out of farming because my crop insurance agent was trying to recruit me to go back into insurance. And I said, there's no way I'm ever going back. Well, here I am. I'm back into it. And so actually, I've been in insurance since about 1988.
Okay.
And married. I have a couple of children. And some of the things that I like to do is I do like to travel. My wife and I did spend some time in Mexico doing missionary work. We spent about a year and a half down in Oaxaca, Mexico. As far as traveling goes, we've had a couple of trips to Hawaii. We really enjoyed that. And so it's nice to see my kids have fun going there. One of the things that sometimes people ask me is, do I have a dream car? And my only dream car is the one that's paid for. So I'm not really big into things like that, but I thought that's a good way to do that. As far as like other things that I like, of course, we like to go out and eat occasionally. And I'm not fussy about what I eat. If you saw me from here down, you'd see that. Also, but my favorite thing to eat is a nice tender filet mignon. And boy, when you have one of those just grilled, oh, to me, it's one of the best things a person can enjoy.
That's a piece of heaven right there. Oh, that's awesome. Well, Tim, I love hearing about you and your family, and that you love to travel. As a self-employed person or as a business owner, that gives you a lot of flexibility. It also gives you, all of the stresses of being a self-employed person and all of that. It's kind of a balance, but that is awesome. So Tim, tell everyone a little bit about your company. And like you said, you got into insurance in your early 20s. So in an early part of your life, you were already headed down the road that became your career. But tell everyone a little bit more about your business and what you do, who you serve, kind of what what you do.
Okay. All right. When we moved back to Mexico, I worked as a financial advisor for about 3 years. And then I got out on my own because I didn't like really working under a corporation. And when you've worked like for a family business or your own, there's no comparison between the two, as my opinion. And so then I decided that I'm going to start my own business. And really what got me going to do that is I did not want to work a lot of evenings, if any at all, or weekends. And being a financial advisor, I had to make my time available for people at just about any time at their convenience. And we just had my daughter at that point. This was she was born in 28, not 28, in 2008.
It's okay. 2008. Yeah.
And so then I thought I need to spend more time at home. So then I got thinking, what could I do in insurance that would be daytime work? And I thought, well, working with seniors. Seniors don't have to work. They're
Right.
usually available anytime. Well, okay, what do seniors like? Well, seniors have to have insurance that works with their Medicare. So since I've always had good relationships with senior citizens, I decided that's the direction I'm going to go. And so I started working out of my house. This would have been back in 2012. August of 2012 is when I started this business. And I've seen it grow over the years. 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I moved into my own office. This is it behind me.
I love
And
it. Yes.
no, I'm just joking. It's not. But but I moved into my own office, which I think really helped my business, gives me some more credibility, and builds people's confidence in me. So that's how I got here.
I love that. I love that you work with seniors over 65. So you have a demographic that you're really, focused in on. I agree that having that flexibility of being able to work in the day when everybody's kind of working and then be able to be free at night, that's awesome too. Um,
Hmm.
so tell us a little bit about, I know where you're going to go with this because it's such a perfect fit for using Mailbox Power, but tell us a little bit about how you found Mailbox Power and what kind of made you decide to use direct mail marketing more and why that's been successful for you. That's a lot in one question, but how did you find Mailbox Power?
I was on a webinar, a Medicare insurance related webinar, and they were interviewing the agent, and they asked her how did she market, and one of the things she did was use Mailbox Power. Well, I'd never heard of Mailbox Power before. I have used a service like this with another company, so I thought, well, I'm going to compare. And I did my comparisons, and I thought this was a better fit for what I wanted to do. So that's how I got affiliated with you.
Oh, that's awesome. So someone else in your same industry that was having success and doing something a little bit out of the box. Because I feel like so many people, you almost feel like you have to use email and you have to use, and you want to use all different kinds of marketing, but direct mail kind of gets left out or is kind of at the bottom, I feel like, of a lot of people's choices of what they're going to use. And the more people I interview that are, are affiliates or users, the more I realize that so many of them are doing very little now with digital and doing primarily direct mail. Is that the case with you?
Um, I would say yes, it's primary. I do want to do more digital because you have to have a variety of things
You do. You
working.
do.
Yeah. And so up until COVID, I was doing really well working off a list of people that were going to turn 65 and going to them in person. But then COVID got in the way of that. So for 2 years, I did not knock on any doors.
Mm.
And that would have been 20 and 21. So in 2022 is when I started to use Mailbox Power. And
Okay.
I thought I never did this before. It's costing me more money than I'm used to spending, but
Right.
you know, but I can see how effective it is.
Well, and I think because you were knocking doors, which is so awesome because that was, face to face. Hey, I'm Tim. I'm in your area. I know that you're going to turn 65. I wanted to get to know you. How can I help you with your Medicare needs? Right? You're having that
Mhm.
conversation. And
Exactly.
now you can send this. I don't know, you can tell us what you do send, but your postcard or your, gift or whatever you're sending can kind of have that conversation too, because with direct mail, you do get someone's literally undivided attention for several seconds to minutes as they open your package, open your card. So what do you primarily send? Tell us a little bit about how you are actually marketing to your, demographic, your prospecting.
Okay. What I have done is I've narrowed down the area I'm going to prospect into 3 counties. And I'm not a producer that has large numbers every year. I'm slow and steady.
Awesome.
So
That's so.
the so what I do is I'll either use Mailbox Power's lists, and I will pick the demographic out, and anybody in one county that's going to turn 65 a year from that month. Like now it's March, so I've already sent out March 2024.
So you're
Okay,
starting 12 months ahead of time, starting
yeah,
to marketing to your audience. Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
So what I started to do last year is I sent them a card every month. And what I'm trying to do this year is to see if I can streamline that and get the same results. So now I'm sending them one every other month, starting with the first year, because I would want to try and build a relationship with them.
Okay.
And what I've used are the things that you have in your gallery. You have um, campaign things for Medicare and other industries. So what I just did is I tweaked them a little bit for myself, make sure that my information was on it, and I just used those. And I set up a 12-month automation. Well, now I've got a 6-month automation. I'm going to see how that works, and that's how I've used it. And what's good about the cards that you have is there's nothing really there that you have to change a lot. You might there's always a couple of things, and like I said, like your contact information, but usually everything is done. And I really like that. In the old service I was using, you had to make everything up, and that was so time consuming. Another way that I use Mailbox Power is after a sale is made, I have a 3 card automation that I send them. I also have a text automation using some other app that I send them out to. Whenever I receive a phone call from a referral, I always ask them, "How did you find out about me?" And then what I do is I'll send a thank you card to that client with a small gift with it.
Okay, so Tim, tell me a little bit more about how you are using Mailbox Power in your particular business and in your industry.
Okay, sure. I started using Mailbox Power in April of 2022, and I started by using a 12-month campaign. So I always start sending cards to my demographic 12 months before they go into Medicare. And they get a different card every month. I'm trying to go 6 months and see if I can get the same results. So that has to be seen yet. Also, I use Medicare or Mailbox Power to send an automation, thank you automation for people that have become my clients. I send it after I talk to someone and get to know them a little bit. I'll send them a thank you card for that. I also um, use the Mailbox Power for so when I get a referral that calls me, I always ask them, "How did you hear about me? Who referred you?" And then I'll send that client a thank you card with a gift with it, brownies or popcorn, something like that. That's how I've been using it. Also, it's good because I have also mailed out annual thank you cards to my entire clientele.
So, Tim, tell me, is there one particular success story or experience that really stands out to you when you from using Mailbox Power?
Yes, there is. It just happened this week. I met with a couple. who's turning 65 in about 12 months. They've been getting a lot of mailers for the same reason I send mine out to try and, get business. But they said they picked mine out because it looked different than all the others. All the others are like very generic. And but with the selection that we have here through Mailbox Power, it is eye catching. It's down to earth. And you're not trying to fool anybody with the Mailbox Power card. You're being realistic and they're seeing who you are.
Well, and I love that. I think myself personally, when I get a whole bunch of mail that is, it's beautiful, it's professionally done. I can tell that someone's marketing person put a lot of time and effort into it. And then I get one that I'm like, okay, there's the actual gentleman's like face and he's talking to me. And so I do agree that if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I have to have a huge, designer budget for this, you don't. Just use our design catalog, make it personal, make it genuine. People like that. I would rather work with somebody too that is my neighbor and is a local business in my area, and they're speaking to me about something that I'm already thinking about. And if I'm going to be 65, I'm obviously thinking I need to talk to someone about Medicare. I need to get, in touch with someone who can help me. So Tim, this has been awesome. I appreciate you sharing with, all of our audience that and people that are just looking at Mailbox Power, how you have used it as, an insurance agent. You're a
Mm-hmm.
great example of, someone who is thinking about their audience and what they're actually going to look at and a way to communicate with them. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time with us today and letting me interview you. This has been
Oh, you're
awesome.
very welcome. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And if you're looking for more information about Mailbox Power, if you've watched this and you're like, okay, I want to be like Tim and I want to do what he's doing, you can go to mailboxpower.com and you can sign up for an account. You can check it out. You can learn a little bit more there. So thank you again, Tim, for being on our Success Spotlight. You're awesome.
You're welcome. Thanks for
Hey,
having me.
have a great day. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.